the group of people in Monrovia. Listen, somebody was making an analysis where they said, look, when you count the group of people they put a jet in maybe Maryland, River G, and other places, you might count a small number of people, but count them across the country.
Exactly.
They will make up a significant chunk of the population. And these are the people that are coming together tomorrow to just say basically they're endorsing the president. They're doing it by county. So they're having, we're beginning to get some indications that the chief, whether or not he's going to be there, but it's not yet confirmed. Our colleague Jalawa is front and center of this, but also we're hearing Finna Bondo as well.
Yeah. Finna has made a significant stride in that county. I remember when we visited there over a year ago, in Fishtown. She's well known, and
of course,
and in the hearts and minds and soul of the people, and she's one of theirs, and they're like they've claimed her,
Just before opening the line, gentlemen, we have a short interview to conduct with the deputy director of LACRA. I'm talking about Musa Kane,
the cocoa guy.
They gave 80,000 cocoa seeds to about more than 100 farmers in different counties. So he wants to talk about that. But the significance of that is, the different international organizations have been talking about how agriculture is expanding under President George Weah. It is unfortunate that some of our folks in the media don't see that. They only count, when they talk about agriculture, they count agriculture in terms of the national budget. No, but they count agriculture in terms of the national budget. Well, the national budget has had a particular figure, which has been growing. I mean, not quite to the likings of some of them, but the thing they've missed is the fact that historically, there's been different organizations working in the sector that the Liberian government has been working with, different partners. So these partners, the Liberian government has pointed them in different directions. You partner, you take care of this sector, you take care of the rice sector, you take care of the cassava sector, you take care of the cocoa processing, coffee and all of those different things. So they're already working in these different sectors with the consent of the Liberian government to, in furtherance of our own development agenda. So if these people are doing these things, then we start putting more money for them to do the same old thing that they're already committing funding to. That would be just wastage. So we or maybe you'll just be putting money for salaries and all of those stuff.
Exactly.
But the international community has sort of recognized that Liberia is doing quite. In fact, they've already projected that the economy is going to grow, but significantly is going to grow on some of the things is going to grow will be on account of the expansion in agriculture. And this is exactly what people like Musa Kone they're being involved with. Musa, good morning.
Good morning, Bwaka, and good morning, Kwame, and almost in there.
Morning.
Yeah, but tell us about the ceilings. 80,000.
Yes, Bwaka.
Yeah.
80,000 ceilings. We distributed over the last couple of days. You want to say 4 days, but we actually started the distribution of cocoa ceilings in Grand Kedmon County, in Magidi, Lower Mosorado, Todi, and then in Grand Bassa County. But before that, we also, started building the nursery 7 months ago, and the nursery we built was sponsored 100% by the government of Liberia. So it is a government project that we are implementing. So we call the project the Smallholder Cocoa Production Marketing Improvement Project. So to increase Liberia, volumes in terms of cocoa production, in as much as we maybe 900,000 plus ton away from our neighboring country, but we too can do better in cocoa. And we selected the 4 counties based on the fact that in time past, all of the cocoa projects, they are only in 3 counties, and we try to add other counties to the production of cocoa, so everybody can be doing something in different part of the country. So that project started, and the distribution ended yesterday. And we serve 107 cocoa farmers. And in this project, we are also going to build warehouse facility for all of the beneficiaries, the cooperatives and different farming groups will benefit from warehouse, because cocoa is not only about production, but cocoa also, you got to talk about agriculture in general. Production is one thing, but storage facility is another thing. So as much as we could build nursery, distribute seeding to them, before production, they will need storage facility. And so we will also be building warehouses for our beneficiary in the 4 counties. And you asked the question?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Musa.
Yes, so we'll be building warehouses in addition to that. And we, over the last 7 months, also been having extensive training with all of those persons that benefited from the distribution of cocoa seeding. And the training range from farm management, pest control, up to quality control, packaging, and what have you. So we've been doing quite a lot over the last couple of months, and we intend to increase that. The project itself seeks to work with 400 farmers in the 4 counties, and then we are expected to distribute 440,000 cocoa seeding before the end of the project. So it's been very, very rewarding. The beneficiaries also extended thanks and appreciation to the president. Instead, this is the first time for them they are seeing it. And for me, I can also say this is the first time that any government have been that robust in having people involved with different agricultural activities, just as you were saying it. And this is not only from the LACRA point, but even from the Ministry of Agriculture point, the CDA, CARE.
Recently, they gave a lot of tractors, I think worth $600,000 to
that was
farmers.
Not even the first time, Buckeye. It's been like that for the last 3 or 4 years.
Oh, and okay. I meant the other time. Sorry, I was saying but I meant the other time they distributed. Yeah, it's been like that for a lot of years.
It's a special project.
Yeah, but
a few times they've done that.
Just for cocoa production, Buckeye, I'm sorry I'm going to take some of your time, which are not elected to me to be more, but Liberia also stand to benefit a lot for the first time. You know, somebody say, why are you supposed to everything for the first time? But for the first time, Liberia now have its own seed garden. So a seed garden is where you harvest the cocoa seed and then you put it into nursery for production. In town part, for the length of our existing, we've been going to Africa, Ghana to bring cocoa seed in Liberia. Today, one of the IFA projects in B-Play in Nima County, there's a 75-acre seed garden for Liberia there. And in coming months, the EU partnering with LACRA is also expected to, build another seed garden for Liberia. So planting material will become very easy and very cheap. And this is pro for me. Because if you take into consideration going to Africa, buying cocoa seeding, taking it from Africa, the transportation is very difficult. Some people who go to Ghana, they know exactly. Even some of the NGOs here will have difficulties before getting to the IRA, trying to dispatch your cocoa seeding. By the time you reach there, they are all fermented and become a loss. Today, under this leadership, we are not going to be doing that. We'll be, having cocoa from Liberia. So the origin of our cocoa this time around will be Liberia own cocoa. It sounds very little because of our knowledge, not much interest in the cocoa sector. But that's a major boost for Liberia. And I just want to say thank you to the president. For me, I've never been surprised. I knew very well 18 years, 20 years counting that he is the best person for Liberia. And like I said in my post, we now focus our attention to the re-election of President Weah. And for the next maybe 65 days, that will be our focus. I also want to say thank you for affording me time.
You're the vice chairman for mobilization of the campaign.
Definitely. So we're going to be very focused all out in every local corners of this country to ensure.
You care to talk about this program that's coming up on the 17th, briefly?
Yeah, so in Nima County, the Federation of Road Transport Union will also be, pledging their support for the re-election bid of President Weah, and they are having a groundbreaking ceremony on that same day, and many others. Different organizations, for example, the Malay Group, they are also finding a day to, endorse the president re-election, the Dwazon Foot Soldier, many other different groups that we can name up now. But
and we are intellectual movement is going to grace the 17 program.
Exactly, and Waka is also. Should I put it out?
Yeah, put it out.
Of course.
Okay, so Waka Fofana, Waka Fofana is going to be the guest speaker on that day in Ganta. I think that will be on a Thursday, Waka.
Yeah, I think it's a Thursday. It's a Thursday.
I'm sure we'll be there
in my country. So it's going to be great. But you can rest assured that we're going to roll up our sleeve and wear our jean trousers to make sure that Joshua is re-elected to continue what he's already done or is doing for the Liberian people.
Okay, that is the voice of Musa Kone. Guys, what do you make of it? Who open the lines? What do you make of some of the comments?
Yeah, I mean, we were kids. We used to watch LPMC and other, companies that were Liberian companies and how the cocoa sector were working. I know the last time we spoke with the agriculture minister, she said, Liberia has this special, not a hybrid, it's a special cocoa, unique now in the world, and that they're encouraging farmers, they hand out these different tools and seedlings and all of that. And we did one survey one time at the Cary, facility there, and the Chinese, they complained that most of the farmers, not majority of them, but a portion of them will go there, or some people will just go in the yard and say, look, I want to plant rice, I want to plant that, and they provide the stuff, classes and all this stuff. They end up selling them, and you have to look at all of those factors as well. But to be, like he said, 75% of the land in the Ivory Coast, which is the world #1 producer of cocoa, you can plant cocoa. For us in Liberia, it's at the end of the rainy season before we can say we will harvest. We don't have that much, sun and all of that. But one great thing he said we could take from this is that you're not going to go to Ivory Coast or Ghana to get ceilings, and we have our own facility. I don't know how the cocoa sector works, but the fact that now you will not be able to go out there, and buy stuff from out there, bring it, you got to go through customs and all of that. He said by that time the whole process is all perishable, and all your stuff. So it's a good thing for the country. And
Daniel?
Yeah, thank you. So first of all, I want to say thank you. I've always said thank you to Musa Kane, because he's been working so very hard.
He's a hard worker.
And I just want to also highlight that the agricultural sector in Liberia has improved significantly under this administration. The evidence is being seen in the commercial bank loanings over the last 6 years with regards to agricultural activities. You will also be surprised that when they're talking about increase in agricultural activities in Liberia in terms of growing the economy, we've had a huge boost in the cassava sector as well. A big boost, Bwaka and Kwame. The cassava sector has grown to the extent that Liberia now sends chips to China and other parts of the world.
Yeah.
I remember 5 years ago, Nigeria boasted of almost $1 billion in intake from cassava or profits in Nigeria at a point in time. Today we're getting there similarly. I also remember a few years ago, the agriculture minister was at the Ministry of Information, one of our press briefings, when she announced to the public that for the first time in the history of our country, Liberia cocoa was now graded grade B, and we're working the hardest so that we could be at that level. Also, because of the massive growth in the cocoa sector in Nimba, there is currently a chocolate factory. And as a matter of fact, it just speaks to the fact that we are creating opportunities not just in the political sector, but we're trying to depopulate the already constrained wage bill that this administration, has incurred by creating opportunities outside of public service. So, looking at the growth in agriculture, especially as it relates to giving back to our national budget, like what you said, people looking at how much government has on the docket for agriculture, but they're not looking at the multi-participatory roles by other stakeholders. This is growing the economy, and the World Bank and IMF has recognized that. And because of this recognition, we're still determined to do more. Look at fish farming. Okay, look at rice as an example. Prince Mui from Bong County. It's one of the highest producers of our local equipment in Bong. These are impactful agriculture initiatives that is currently growing, because if you look at the global crisis today, Braga, while other West African nations are crumbling economically, Liberia is gradually moving on. And people tend to wonder how. These are some of the innovations that we continue to use.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Let's open the lines.
Please, let's do.
Right.
If you are out there and want to participate, call us on the following number: 080-514-096, 080-514-096, or 086-561-537, 080-561-537. Good morning. Yeah, that first call is gone. 080-514-096 or 086-561-537. Those are the numbers you can use this morning. We're talking. We have our first caller. Good morning. Good morning. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, your name, where you calling from? You got to speak up, please.
Yeah, I'm Max David Inland calling from County.
Okay, go ahead, Max.
Morning, Max.
Yes, I just followed your show this morning, and you were trying to.
Oh, we lost Max there.
Wow.
Max, if you listen, you can call back.
What is that? Max, good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, white guy. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, your name, where you calling from?
Well, my name is Clinton Kawiye. Once here in Akwayu from Cantwell this morning.
Morning, Clinton.
It is my pleasure to be on this radio this morning. And for better recognition, I represent my chapter, the We Are Intellectual Movement chapter at Stephen R. Polytechnic University.
Oh, correct.
Okay, good. That's good.
Good morning.
Actually, people talking about the president is not doing anything, and the opposition continue to say bread and
As a matter of fact, we should state that we're going to be having a UMU chapter in very shortly.
Yeah,
Yes,
which is also key.
So people always talking about bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter. And I wonder what they really call bread and butter. Because when you're talking about bread and butter, is what the president policy affecting the people that the government is catering to. I graduated from high school 2020. The president paid my wife's fees. Is that not bread and butter?
Bread and butter.
That's bread and butter, of course.
My mother way there in Sino. She's struggling for the past 12 years. They never broke ground. They never did a feasibility study, and they never did their blueprint, because we know they are noted to be a blueprint people. Now the president of this republic about to break ground from capital to Toastan to Zweju. Is that not a bread and butter for us?
That's bread and butter.
People at the university.
Yeah, because that creates rules to marketplaces and all of that.
Easy commission.
It allows you to take your goods to the market. So that's going to create a stream of revenue for marketers.
For pension of producers as well.
Yeah.
There is no country in this world that develop without developing the minds of those in the country.
Yeah. We lost you. Let's move on. Let's talk to this other caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Honorable Bada Fofana, and let me say good morning to Bibera Kwame Wish.
Yeah, good morning. And Daniel News is here as well. But go ahead.
Good morning.
Okay. In a sense, this is Andrew Moses, and joined the conversation this morning from my district resident. You know, I live in this country for 12 years under Madam Shelley and Joe Bata administration. I did not one day know that they even get something called LACA until George came to power and appointed the rest of John Colley, Musa Connell in there. Because we started to realize that
that I guess something to call LACA, eh?
Just like NAFA. Same thing.
The same way with NAFA. The same way with NAFA.
Yeah, just like NAFA.
The same way with NAFA too. How Emma Glasgow have transformed NAFA to the future sector. That up to now, Liberia, is then a greater out there. But here's what I want to see, and let me appreciate all of the presidential aspirants that went to the meeting that were called by net. We are not here to pinpoint Mr. Kumi, because we know that Mr. Kumi is not going anywhere in the election. So whether he attend any meeting or not, it is not my business. Mr. Kumi, you know the shop people very hard to deal.
No. We're not going.
Let's keep it professional.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, where are you calling from?
This is Dennis Unidas Church. I call from the National Patriotic Party headquarters in Congress.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to appreciate you guys in studio. One thing our people fail to understand, this government is the first government after war that only survived on mere taxes. Unlike the steady government that survived on donors, funding, and other things. So the Liberian people have to appreciate this government for the level of work that they have done. The level of work that we have done is to take into consideration that this government has only effectively worked for 3 years.
Yes.
2018 to 2020. The country was not stable. The war abroad was not stable.
Yeah.
And within the 3 years, we also have the Ukraine and Russian war.
And COVID.
With all of these problems, this government still tries to give us our basic necessity, which is road.
Yeah.
In fact, government has even started that road, electricity, and water will not be the way we are.
Of course.
Also, we want to appreciate the government and want to appreciate the president. As chairman of NIMA would say to the people that NIMA will give this president a sounding victory that no other president has ever received in NIMA. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk to this other caller right here. That caller's gone. Let's talk to that one. Good morning.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Your name, where are you calling from?
My name is Isaac Rudolph Holder, and I joined the conversation for Moko Avenue in Bond County.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to tell you, my brother, this government has done extremely well for the south, the people of Bond County.
Okay.
And the new lawmaker, can you imagine? The only lawmaker, the several political districts we have in Bond County, this new lawmaker has done extremely well. Putting smart on the faces of the people of Bond County. And President Wilson, rest assured, speaking to you as a chairman for the Bond Youth Movement for the re-election of President William 2023. And with the new lawmaker Jane Martin Cole, we believe that this government has done extremely well, and we want to re-elect this government for continuation of his numerous development in this country. Evident that the scholarship for all other public university in this country, the development of the Banana Street and other development. So we believe that President we have done extremely well in collaboration with Jane Martin Cole. So we will do that.
Thank you very much, caller. Do we have another caller? Caller, good morning. Caller, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, please. Caller, good morning. Well, I think we lost that caller. Then. Do we have another caller? Caller, good morning, caller. Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is James Tano.
Okay, James, good morning. Let's hear from you.
I'm calling from Jamaica Road. Let me say thank you so much to everyone of you, Studio Pastor, Mr. Weed, and Daniel Luke. You see, I will say one thing. Off of the even if President Weah is not president tomorrow, he will still serve Liberia. That's how the man is. So the opposition, I call it take the country to be like their personal team. When they are not in position, they cannot affiliate or associate with the current leadership. So it comes to mind that tomorrow you are president, and this former president is now at your event. How will you feel?
You're right.
You also need the former president's support. Also, he should be out of presidency because you show him things like, oh, you are so very loving. Tomorrow you might be there tomorrow and you out of position too. And people you need to think of that. So I think politics is not palaver or something.
Exactly.
United.
Correct.
And what Honorable Gongo start to do? Reach out.
Politics is about unity.
If you are there, people will reach out to you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Do we have another caller on the line? Let's take one more call. Good morning, caller. Your name and where you're calling from. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. Your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning, Dr. Wana.
Good morning. Let's hear from you very quickly.
Yeah, I'm Package here, calling from Corwell, New Jersey. A strong supporter of Ambassador George Weah.
Okay.
I call to just appreciate you people so highly. Because from the time I start following this party, for what you have done for the party, is beyond measurable. Yeah. So I just appreciate you to just continue because Georgia is my life. I have to consider it. Georgia is my life.
Thank you,
I
Colin.
will say to the depth of my heart. So I will.
Let's talk to Maurita. Maurita, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Baka Pufana. I want to say good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You see, my brother, what the people mean are friend and photo issue. They see that collaborating they used to do back then. They say people know where in the country they care our president and they see that they still see they continue to bring for us. That they will continue to be telling us, may our country go back to me.
Yeah.
When no war,
I know. Yeah. I know, eh?
so they President Weah come to power, he say, I will build a road so the food can win the zero a car.
Yeah.
They're not a bad button there.
I know,
Children, our children, one thing that the President Weah pay. Tomorrow when they lay, they will not bring money for oil and not bad butter.
I know, I know.
So these people, they confused, they just feel with the oil.
When you go to the market, the prices drop because we controlling inflation. Nana bread butter there. When we reduce the LEC payment, the last time during the time it was very high, it was one of the highest in the world. Now we reduce it by almost 40%. In that bread butter,
we took our models from outside to market here. That bread butter.
Let me tell you one thing that you don't know. So they are eating so much. Anytime we are in election setting, but today we are in election setting. Carry the girl home. You know, husband. Are you talking normal? I got husband in my home. Now I tell you my local water, my local soggy, and I water.
that bread butter.
That's how you give it to us. I want to study it because I don't have the husband.
Yeah.
So you tell you people just see that.
When we say the market, we need that from the ring and put it in the market daily. Money daily. Market daily. They're not bread butter.
That bread butter.
Thank you, Mauro. The thing that people are crazy. People can understand it too. Anyway, I think we can hold on a bit and then talk to the UMU chapter of the We Are Intellectual Movement. Yeah, but we're having a wonderful conversation this morning on the radio. I'm having a great time this morning on the radio. You know, our folks from the opposition will sort of put out these different lies and refrains, you know, sound bites, hoping that it would just stick with the population. You know, so the last time I challenged one of the politicians on the radio, he was talking, say, "Oh, look, and this is a politician. The hypocrisy, you know, it stinks. So this is a man." So President Weah has his leisure time, you know, has some fun and dance on public stage, you know, like all presidents would do. I mean, there's been pictures of Barack Obama dancing. There's been pictures of even Trump. Can you imagine dancing and all of that? So the president had his moment of leisure and had a fun. Or did they say buka and all those stuff? But the very folks that are talking about buka, their own standard bearer and spouse was in the States dancing the very song they were criticizing the president about. So that the hypocrisy, you know, so how to challenge, and then they will be there. Oh, the economy is bad. We'll improve it. But what kind of economy? And what about improving the economy? You know, the economy in West Africa is in the world is generally bad. In West Africa, it's even worse. Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, all the different economies are really performing.
Even Guinea,
really performing so poorly. On the other end, we've been resilient because we have a democratic nation. We're taking some of the unprecedented steps to stem these adverse effects. And that's why we're getting major plaudits from the IMF, the World Bank, all of that. But I only like the opposition in here. They buy economy. So which one? Sierra Leone, Ghana, but or Labrador? Because we're not understanding what I'm talking about.
But where was the economy initially before this president came? and that we were able to change it in 3 years, because we're not going to add the COVID and the Ukraine-Russian crisis. Period.
I know somebody mentioned that.
Yeah, I mean,
the president had a very short time.
It's just sound bites for me, you know.
Let's talk to our guests in studio. We have the UMU chapter of the We Are Intellectual movement. You know, the We Are Intellectual movement has been all over the place, moving about, communicating the messages of the president. We've had on this platform we've had on this platform the Stella Marie's chapter. We've had here the AMU chapter. Today we're having the UMU chapter. Probably next week at some point we're going to have, at the tail end of the conversation, the University of Liberia chapter of the We Are Intellectual movement. Today I want to let the young men introduce themselves. Let's start with you first. Yeah, come closer to the mic, please. Okay, you're good.
Okay, I say thank you. Thank you for the recognition.
Okay.
I'm Archie M. Seklo,
Okay.
a graduate of the United Mellon University,
Okay.
specifically the IT department.
Okay.
I'm a part of the We Are Intellectual movement, UMU chapter, which I was told by the Honorable Minister Isaac Doe to join the movement. There's a way that we can move forward. Somebody recommended me that I'm a citizen, so we need to come on board from the UMU chapter, because I also spear the affair of the Liberia Information Technology UMU chapter chair. So I needed to come on board so we can push the agenda of the president forward. So I joined the We Are Intellectual movement. Moreover, I've been following you, Mr. Minister Baga Fofana, Kanyo Barbara, my own brother, my own CMN from District 3, and Ishaka Sherry. I've been following your activities on the social media, and I got interested, and also when they engaged me on that, I said, wow, I got to follow the big guys.
Well, thank you. The name again?
Archie M.
Archie. Thank you, Archie.
Thank you, Big Brother Barker. My name is Aaron Kofachi. I'm a senior student at the United University reading economics, and I'm a youth election fellow, U.S. Embassy youth election fellow.
Okay. So go ahead. So why did you join the We Are Intellectual movement?
So beyond the We Are Intellectual movement, there are reasons that drive people passionate. For me, basically, my support to President Weah is deeply rooted in his many infrastructure development across the country and how well he's managing the state and affairs of this country. And so, I mean, we understand the politics, we understand how the criticism are like in the country, but I mean, if we
think the criticisms are fair?
Some are mere hypocrisy. We will speak to some of them and we will maybe analyze some of them, because you can see last in too many of them. So I mean, as university students, we have to take politics beyond just the Amanda Awetu and come to the conversation with honesty. Now, I mean, you said this about President Weah. Where were we before and where are we now? So our support should be issue driven and our criticism against government should be issue driven. I mean, we have seen the fact, we understand the propaganda, and we understand how well they have played and carved too many of the propagandas, and we know that President Weah is leading unprecedentedly.
Why not the other people? Why not the other candidates? Why President Weah?
I mean, you can start to name a candidate, but
what about Joseph Walker?
Joseph Walker, Big Brother Walker in this country. Even if President Weah were not in the race, Walker is not an option. I mean, I had a conversation with my friend from the German embassy, and she said, a man like Walker and should not be anywhere around politics. Walker is one dishonest politician in this country. For somebody to sit on radio and say we have opportunities in this country for 12 years and we squander it. Why squander? Misuse, abuse, waste of opportunity. You squander it. Maybe if Waga never going to squander the opportunity, some are never going to be in UMB today, would have been out of here. Maybe some would have had different degrees and we're not going to be chasing one undergraduate degree. So some of the opportunity Waga squander probably led us to where we are today. And so Waga is not an option in any elections.
Let me play you the voice of the billionaire, I think one of the richest men in the world, Mo Ibrahim. who has the Mo Ibrahim Prize. This is what he said about all leaders.
This contact is fundamental to young people.
Can we put it in? Oh, that's all?
Let's look at the average age of our president. It's about 63, 64 years old.
Okay, I think the voice is. It is.
The audio is
The audio is low.
low.
So basically, he was talking about that the average age of African leaders is so high. He's saying, how can a man, at a certain age, be talking about even leading a country? The country is that person should be retiring. But anyway, we'll find a way to play that. Let's talk to Achi. Achi,
Yeah.
why George Weah, President Weah, and not other candidates?
Yeah, thank you for the question. The reason that I chose President Weah over too many candidates in the race is about his many development that he carried on in the country, more especially investing into the youth. What are some of those things that he invested into youth? Like the WAS fee is something that beneficiary to the common people, the ordinary people. Others might have to pay for their children, but then the ordinary people from the market, they might not have to pay for that. Like for my case, back then when I graduated from high school, my mom was selling in the Kobacho market. I struggled to pay my wife's fee. My wife fee at that time it was wild. I struggled to pay my wife fee. At that time it was, I think, told me around 2,500. She struggled. I paid last minute. I begged the school to pay. So for now to see a president paying about 75 to 85 US dollar is a plus for us young people. And also looking at the free tuition fare across the length and breadth of the country, wherein the president and his government are paying for those students, these young people, the struggling mothers' children from the state-run university across all public university. That's a plus. I choose to follow President Weah, not for a mistake. I'm on the right trajectory, I know, because of too many development. Look at the roads that he paving. I'm from Nima County, Tapeta. Seeing my road going from Ganta to Tapeta, I'm seeing it. Just a recent, my mommy traveled on the road. She said to me, "Oh, Ash, your president is so loved dearly because she's not a sedition. She's from the Prince Johnson camp, also Unity Party. She always talk to me about why you love Joey, and I always tell her why I love Joey at home. So she said, "Oh, your president that you love so dearly, he paid for our rule. I might vote for him."
That what she say?
Yeah, she was telling me whom. She said, "I might vote for him if our rule."
She's in Limba?
No, she here,
Okay.
but she always travel there for conference and other stuff. So there are a lot we can say as young people to vote for President Weah re-election because we know that he will do more. Because they got a saying that say when the Christmas we bore, you will know from the Eve. And we've seen from the Eve, there are too many development. Look at the Invisible Sport Park, the West Point area, the Clareton Bell, and too many things he's doing across the length and breadth of our country. When it comes to, because when we rather do the analysis, we'll do it from maybe like from stage to stage, like from education, from the health sector, the infrastructure sector, then we can tell our people why they should vote President Weah, because we got too many things to deliver to them, to tell them that they will see physically, not propaganda, not mere talk, because there are a lot they will see for themselves when we tell them they will vote for President Weah.
So how are you going to, Aaron, right?
Yeah.
How are you going to be communicating? What are you going to do? What are you going to say to your colleagues at the university level in order to recruit them?
Oh, the debate is clear and the arguments are clear. Now, our colleagues understand that this country probably, let's say, suffer some level of inflation now. Like I spoke with too many economic students. President Weah, under this administration, we have when he inherited 18% inflation, but now it is 7%. Now, if any student of economics we understand what inflation is from 18% to 7%, then you must support President Weah.
But we're discussing the issue.
Correct.
They go support President Weah. Now they will say, oh, no investor in the country, no investors coming in the country. Now, that's a lazy argument.
Okay.
We can point to too many investment. Even the invisible sports park is an investment.
Yeah.
It's capital investment.
Yeah.
And it is even generating revenue. As a matter of fact, there are people employed there.
Yes.
Now, how will somebody come to the conversation and say, you're speaking to university and say, no investment in the country? As a matter of fact, that rubber company Jetty is building is an investment. So President Weah is not going to say, oh, we're digging out to say we're planning new investment. But some of the things you be seeing around, all of these sports parks around, they are investment, they are capital investment, the roads are capital investment. And so President Weah has one way or the other encouraged investors and investment in this country.
Not even one way or the other.
So
let me just enumerate some things.
Yeah.
So there's been close to 15 concession deals ratified. So they got different categories. They got the first one from $500,000 to $9 million. That's the first category. That's about 3 years. Then they got the next category, which is about from $10 million upwards. That's the next category of investment. And then the third one is concession, and then along with PPP, public-private partnership. So there's been the national legislature, and this is the hypocrisy we're talking about. The national legislature, with some of the opposition folks, have ratified a number of agreements, concession deals, but they will still be the ones to come out and say no investment. So the Nima Rubber Corporation, for instance, and these agreements produce hundreds of jobs.
Yep.
Golden Sifka.
Yep.
Was also ratified by the national legislature. Mano Palm Oil Industries.
Yep.
Also ratified under President Weah. Hammerberg Resources, also ratified under President Weah.
Yep.
Bauchico Resources, Medtech Scientific, Tracom Liberia, Futa Jallo Corporation, Star Cement. And by the way, before President Weah, there was traditionally only one cement factory in the country. Now we got 3, one in Buchanan, one other Morovia now.
Yeah.
So we got 3 cement factories. We got one of the largest poultry farms with commercialized poultry. About $15 million investment into poultry. So all that lies can be talking no investment. That's so long. So long. So I don't want to point out.
That's very good.
Yeah. So you've listed a couple of investment in too many things.
Jetty also.
Yeah, Jetty
is adding value.
So let's weigh their arguments. Too many of their arguments. Now they will say, and this is the arrogance, and I like how Costa called them the ungrateful.
No, we ain't taking that one already.
This is the argument, and they will say, most of it. One of the ways they try to discourage people supporting President Weah, they will look out and quote unquote and say, "Your door, young people." Now let's do the parity. Those of them in the opposition and those of us supporting President Weah, let's do pair on pair. The spokesperson, the campaign spokesperson, Darius DeLong. Let's compare him with our campaign spokesperson. Okay, let's take that. Mo
Ali is the official campaign spokesperson.
Okay, he's one of the spokesperson. Mo Ali is de facto. Let's take Darius DeLong. Let's take Darius DeLong. Compare Darius DeLong with Councillor Kano Pampala. This is a man who has state opportunity to study abroad and then ran back to the country because he couldn't meet the threshold. Darius DeLong in any educational environment cannot meet 3.5 GPA. So he ran back to Liberia. But those are the people who will look at citizens and say he's supporting President Weah.
Yes, correct.
That's the arrogance.
Yeah.
You look at his serious supporting President. Darius DeLong does not support education. I tell you this: the oldest person in DeLong office just got BSc. DeLong special assistant dropped out of school in 2015. This young man till now is yet to enroll even at UL. So those are the people that will discourage citizens. Each time I've spoken to too many citizens and say, let not the people discourage you. Look at the people that say you do.
Those are pointing fingers.
Their upbringing. Look at the people behind them.
Yes.
Then you get one Queen Johnson who can say you do is somebody. Then you will feel discouraged. No, we are never deterred. We know, we understand that in this thing, there are people who will say, "Oh, you did," they will criticize you. And another thing they can do when a moment is out of appropriate, they can say he's spoiling a future.
Let's see. Okay, listen to more, Ibrahim.
This contract is contract of young people. Half of our people here are below 20 years old. Yes. Look at the average age of our presidents. It's about 63, 64 years old. We're the only continent in the world where we have presidents at 90 years old starting new terms. I mean, you guys are crazy or what? We've seen people in wheelchairs, unable to raise hands to standing for elections. This is a joke. Yes, you are right to laugh because the whole world is laughing at us. I always say, I mean, you look around you. You look United States, an economy of $16 trillion. We, all of Africa, are less than $1 trillion. This is a $16 trillion economy, right? The most important country in the world, like it or not. Obama, who's happy to be half African anyway, become president when he's 46, 47 years old, he's president. If Obama was in Kenya, what he would be doing now? We'll be driving a bus maybe. Yeah. You look, really, and he's not the youngest president. Clinton was younger than him. Clinton became president at 46 years old. Kennedy was 40 years old, 40 odd, some years old when he became president. Why these big countries, much bigger than us, entrust their economies, their nuclear weapons, their oil resources to people who are in their 40s? And we only pick up people at 90 years old to lead us. To lead us where? To the grave?
That's a powerful.
So lead us where?
To the grave. That's a powerful one.
You agree? You don't agree?
This is the Mo Ibrahim is one of Africa's richest men. He established the Mo Ibrahim Foundation, that prize that rewards African leaders for democratic governance and all of that. He's railing at countries that elect old leaders, very old leaders. He's talking about a time for generational change, that you need to elect younger people. He's saying the powerful nations in the world, such as America, for instance, trust their nuclear weapons in the leadership of the country, the economists, to young people. He cited Barack Obama, cited Bill Clinton, cited Kennedy. So these are young people. It's why he said if Barack Obama had been anywhere in Africa, he probably would be driving Texas.
A bus driver. But
that's how
he's right, Baka.
Yeah.
He's actually very right. And I listened to the two colleagues here in studio, and it reminds me, I said something a few weeks, several Fridays ago to you. We're in a new dispensation. This is a dispensation of true political enlightenment by young people. If you look at the total number of first-time voters, and you considerably understand the political understanding of the environment in terms of what they want, you take that back to several years ago, you see a big difference. People were more relaxed and on the fence then as compared to now. Why? For several reasons. One, people have become tired with the individual that they believe in their manifesto, specifically President Weah. Two, the evolution of technological advancements, where the tangible developmental aspects are portrayed in real time. Okay? It is a key indicator that there's no longer USA. That's why I said to some of my colleagues the other day, when you're talking about votes in NIMBA, it's no longer going to be predominantly on the basis of tribal line, but convincingly what the young brothers and sisters, the market women, the doctors, the nurses, the farmers have seen in their different lives. So you expect a fisherman who 6 years ago or paddled the canoe using lots of energy that is today now using a motorized canoe. You expect this fisherman to believe that because
They men who won't be president are normal men, so you vote the men. It's not possible.
So, guys, let's
not possible.
Let me hear some of your parting comments before that. But let me open the lines again first before we get back to you. Call us on 080-514-096, 080-514-096, or 086-561-537. But before then, I want to talk to the head of Nimba Kwadu, Isaac Dan. Isaac Dan has been moving across Nimba County, making a lot of inroads. They are beginning to change the narrative. There's been several auxiliary groups in Nimba County for we are, the Nimba for we are, the Nimba Kwadu, the this, that, all kinds of different auxiliary groups that just feel really happy about the developments taking place in the county. So they've been pledging their support to the president here, there, and yonder. And at the center of all of that is, the Nimba Kwadu organization headed by Isaac Dan. I'm trying to reach out to him. Isaac is on the line. Mr. Dan, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
We're doing well. Sorry, I know you've been trying to reach out. We're on the radio. You're live on air. Tell us about tell us about some of the activities lately of Nimba Kwadu.
Well, Nimba Kwadu is in a full swing, moving from town to town, from district to district, to make sure that the president is re-elected. And we'll be having our general executive meeting tomorrow that we wish I came in town last night so that I can be able to preside over the meeting, who campaign, how we can be able to go across the country to speak to our citizens to vote for the president. Because as we know, tomorrow will be the official opening of the campaign. So tomorrow we'll be having our executive meeting, and which our plan will not be disclosed over air.
Tell us about how the Liberian leader is viewed in Nimba County, because there's been some talks that, Prince Johnson is the godfather of the county and he decides where Nimba goes.
I do not believe that Prince Johnson will be able to claim himself to be a godfather. His behavior doesn't represent godfather. And one thing I will tell you is they don't have a campaign message in Nimba. You cannot to go for somebody to die, then you can so that you can ascend to presidency. What the best thing Nimba people want is to go through election. It's not about somebody to be vice president, somebody, then when a person dies, you take over. So the campaign message in Nimba from Senator Johnson is very poor. You cannot say you started a project. If you start a project, you did not end it, somebody can't end it. That will take a glory. The person who end it, when end the project is the one that made it, that will take a glory. But let me tell you this, Nimba people are in high gear. The entire citizen of Nimba are resolved to support the president re-election. You will see a result. I keep telling you, you will see a result time or two.
There are some people who say, Senator Johnson has done this over and over. He's made, like he's the kingmaker of Nimba County.
Yep.
He ensured some years ago that President Salif got elected by the Nimba people twice. How is this going to be any different?
This year is a different ball game. With Honorable Garrison Yeru, let me tell you, one thing that the president has done for Nimba people is this. To put Garrison Yeru on the campaign team. First time in history of Liberia to be the co-chair for the national campaign team. That's a don't make the entire country, when a president was made, the entire country was also done. So nobody should tell you that Senator Johnson will be able to deliver Nimba. And I keep telling you, we will be able to get 80% of that vote to George Weah.
Okay.
They don't have no campaign message. They don't have no campaign message. You say the president not doing the president, but quota are going as far as they want to. Sending Kole, Ikepa, Secretary, Professor. Then what you want for the president to do, and just recently the president donated budget to schools. Why you have there to show as 18-year senator? Why you have to show to convince her that yes, we gave you 18-year job? Why you have to show? You don't have nothing to show besides your courage.
And that's the point you're making. He's been senator for
18 years. 18
almost 2 decades.
Yes.
That would be, if a child was born, that child would almost be 20 years old. So, so you're saying there's nothing there to show?
Nothing, Senator Johnson have in the country to show.
Besides the university.
Even I just give my own bottom. The man who built school out there is my uncle. You know, I'm not in the country to show. He just went stop Gandalf to carry the camera. Then he all over just lying on the president. He's calling opportunity for number people. He don't want to say when somebody talking, then he start threatening people. This will make Joseph Bala to win job in Nimba.
Oh, he threatens you people?
Yes, that's what he do all over in Nimba. Going to our village town and village and threatening our people now all over when President Wada win the other party, Mojab run away from the country. This country is not for here, it's for all of us.
Yeah.
Yep. Correct.
So for that reason, it will not make us to back up from President. We are
psychological warfare. He's playing on your minds because there is a 90% chance the president is going to win. So the president needs to be worried. It's him.
Of course.
So, but another thing you want to tell us about Isaac?
Yeah, the only thing I want to tell the public is the campaign will be opening tomorrow for us as Nimba Kwado institution, organization. We will be able to convince our opponent with our candidate platform. We will not attack in division, but the platform of our candidate will make us to win time at the time.
Thank you. Let's open the lines. That's Isaac. Isaac is the president of Nimba Kwado.
And they've been working very hard, bro.
Yeah, they've been working hard. 08005140096. That's 08005140096. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Alexander Law, and I from Nimba, district number 7, to be precise, Town City.
Okay. Go ahead, Alexander.
Yeah, so I'm the community radio station manager.
Okay.
And through my observation here, like what Nimba Kwado spokesperson was just saying, is overwhelming. And even the mayor of this city, Rudy Tuazama, is at the front page of the campaign of Ambassador Josh Manowia.
The mayor of which city? The mayor of which city?
The mayor of Brown. The mayor of Brown.
Oh, the mayor of Brown, okay.
The mayor of Brown City. You know, there's a survey at 2 cities.
Mm-hmm.
There's a survey at 2 cities. One is Secretary and one is Brown.
Okay.
And one is Brown. So like the person that's what now with that I was saying, it is true and correct that the mayor is actually at the front page. Can you imagine when the same mayor is at the front page of this campaign? It's something that people are actually in a high gear. But one of the things that the president donated a new grand bus to the high school here through the Minister of Post and Telecommunication, what is doing a former lawmaker of this district. Now, the people overwhelmingly accept this gadgets from the education background, and also through the minister and also on organizing you do, they said that the president said his home is Palm City. So he's going to build a sports stadium that is the sport lover that will be playing on Saturday. And while the people are now in high gear waiting to see when how this
thank you. Let's talk to one more son of Nimba County, and then we'll come back to our guest in studio. Jura Sano, Minister Jura Sano, good morning.
Thank you for the recognition. Let me add my voice to the two voices of Nimba. You see, let me tell you this morning. Since Omen Bwadia returned from Nimba close to 3 weeks ago, along with Senator Johnson, Senator Johnson has not returned there. The reason is very simple. Their trip in Nimba was not what they expected.
It was a fiasco.
I repeat, that one they could not stop in Sanikole. The seat of Nimba is Sanikole. They had a program.
They expected massive support.
And that didn't happen.
Purportedly, he's their vice senator as a son and all of that.
And that didn't happen.
Send message to Sanikole that we are on our way to Kample. Want to stop in Sanikole. Sanikole is separated between Kample and Ganta. Unfortunately, the reception of our poll, they could not stop in Sanikole. And the poll of Sanikole said, you came to Nimba, you stop in Ganta, you drive over, you go to Kample, we'll pay you. Nimba is a progressive county. I repeat, to sit in Monrovia and make statement, I got Nimba done at the 5%. No, Nimba is a progressive county.
Yep.
What the government has done in the last 6 years is what Nimba will reward the government for. Because re-election of President Weah means more and more things for Liberia and for Nimba in particular. I just want to I don't want to add that to my two member brothers.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Minister.
Let's get back to our colleagues. I mean, our guys in studio here, Achi and Aaron. Achi, what do you make of some of the? But let's talk first about what exactly you're going to be doing now going forward. How are you going to be promoting the We Are Intellectual movement?
Okay, thank you very much. The We Are Intellectual movement UMU chapter, my colleagues and myself, we are there. We are mobilizing more young people there to move around from various community to community, attire shot to attire shot, as the campaign officially open tomorrow, from university campus to various university campus. We will move there to preach the message of President Weah. How is he governing the country? These are things he's doing. We're going to tell them the exact thing he's doing for the country. And we understand that most of our young people that we've been talking to, they exactly know what the president is doing because they are all visible. They are not propaganda we're going to be sparing. They are all visible things that when we say the president is paying WAS fee, they are seeing the WAS fee what he's doing for young people and struggling mothers. When we talk about the invisible part, when we talk about the hospital in Bapul, in River Cess, in the one that ongoing Grand Gita, the new Redemption Hospital, they are seeing it. They will see it. So personally, we are measure is very simple. We're going to preach it to people. It's very simple because there are visible things that the people are going to see. We are not going to tell them things that they are not seeing. So it will be very simple for us as young people to propagate his message.
We run out of time.
Yeah, so basically this elections is one of the simple elections ever. It is about our generation. I've always told people this 2023 election is not about George Weah. It's about our generation. It's about breaking the elite arrogance that for long the country suffer. Look at the cycle of opposition. Look at the young people. They don't promote young people. Look at our side. We promote young people. President, we are believing generational transformation. And so young students that will be engaging, these are the arguments. And we understand that President, we are mean well for our generation. And this government means well for this generation. Unlike the other people, the only argument is somebody old and they deserve to be leader. No, age does not guarantee wisdom. As a matter of fact, if we say because this person is old, so they should be leader, then let's look for the oldest person in the country. Joe Biden is not the oldest person in this country. So I mean, so this conversation about who becomes president after October 10 is simple in that we say, tell us what Baga has done for this country. This is what President Weah is doing. This is what President Weah has initiated. So it is about tangible versus mere talk.
Okay. Yes. Wonderful. That was Achi and Aaron, both of whom are from the We Are Intellectual Movement UMU chapter. Earlier we had before today we had the Stella Marie's chapter and the AME chapter. But on this platform today, we also have Kwame Nopawix, who's left, and then we have currently in the studio still the Assistant Minister for Information Services, Daniel Nooks Thomas. Daniel?
Yeah, thank you, Bwaka, and also thank you to all of our colleagues that follow in the audience. Before we part, I just like to say as part of tomorrow's campaign activity, I see most of my podcast followers are coming up, so I'll be officially resuming the famous per seconds podcast tomorrow. and also we're going to be launching as well alongside the party our auxiliary called the We Attack Team. So if those of you who's following me, both in Liberia and in the diaspora, that are interested, just come in my inbox. But starting tomorrow, our podcast is going to be on. So thank you very much, Brakai.
So, thank you so much. That's all the time we have. Like we said, campaign begins tomorrow. Today is 6 or 7 days from the election on October 8th. Campaign begins tomorrow, ends on the election is on October 10th, but the campaign begins tomorrow, ends on October 8th. So, following today, we're going to be quite robust on this platform. There's going to be no niceties anymore. All of the, I mean, that's going to be. Yeah, there's going to be fire for fire. We're going to be all out there because we occupy, we wear several hats now.
I shoot you.
Firstly, I'm Deputy Minister, Minister of Information, but I'm also Chairperson of the We Are Intellectual Movement. And then I'm Deputy Campaign Spokesperson. So those are the different hats that we're wearing. And we're going to go all out in promoting His Excellency, the President, George we are. But that's all the time we have for today's edition of the show. This is a production of the Ministry of Information, Culture Affairs, and Tourism. Join us again next week for a brand new edition. My name is Boakai Fofana. Bye bye.